Hello and welcome back to Lore Games. Okay, so since our last video, Kingdom Hearts 3 has finally arrived and I aided that crap up, getting the platinum in under a week. Hashtag humblebrag. However, after completing the game, I began looking for the little threads that have been left loose to be tied up later, because of course they're going to be making more games. Honestly, I feel like the series is going to finish with my great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren are stuck in a grave somewhere. But this line of inquiry led me down the rabbit hole that is Kingdom Hearts X or Cross or Key or Unchained something or Union the mobile game. When the game first came out, I tried it, but I've never been a big fan of mobile titles with their stamina bars and gacha systems. But in my quest to uncover the mysteries of the series, it turns out that there are a number of major plot points within the Union Cross. There, I said it right, that I now get to spend the next few months diving into. From what I've learned though, I do have an answer to one question and a few theories on another. The one answer I have nailed down can wait until later, since it does require some pretty heavy story spoilers from Kingdom Hearts 3, and I want to at least give every gamer a chance to play the game before I start spoiling everything. The other thing, however, that I do have a few theories for is the true nature of the Union leader's traitor. So to get us all caught up with the plot, let's briefly explain back cover, the 3-hour lore dump that came with Kingdom Hearts 2.8, because that definitely validates my $60 purchase. I'm kidding. I waited until the Story So Far collection came out. Now I have 17 years of Kingdom Hearts in HD quality gold. Thank you, brand new PS4 Pro that I totally shouldn't have bought. Anyway, in back cover we learn about the origin of the Keyblade Union that eventually began the Keyblade War. There's some Master of Masters dude who decides to be a vague douche and instigates the conflict that he prophesized would happen. There's self-fulfilling prophecies, and then there's not wanting to cause time paradoxes. But this is straight up actively ensuring that the calamity ensues by design. But it's fine, make your Keyblade and give Xehanort the idea to terrorize the last 17 years of our lives. Oh boy, that makes me feel way too old to be doing theory videos about a children's video game series. Moving on, after the Keyblade War, the world is swallowed by darkness, but a handful of Union members managed to survive thanks to their impenetrable plot armor. Although no one can argue that Kingdom Hearts plot armor isn't totally sick. In this case, they were clad in being Deus Ex Machina'd by the Master of Masters himself and Ava into escaping the war entirely. You may recognize Ava as both the leader of the Vulpes Union and the Dandelions, the chosen Keyblade wielders who were tasked with surviving the Keyblade War to spread light anew on the new, darkened, war-torn world. I believe that one of these Dandelions is the original traitor who was responsible for spreading darkness amongst the Keyblade wielders that sparked the Keyblade War in the first place. I feel like I'm saying Keyblade a lot. I'm not going to stop, but I will apologize. I'm not sorry. So if this traitor is one of the Dandelions, then who is it? Well, right off the bat, we can narrow it down to 5 specific members, as in the only 5 members we ever learn the names of. First, we have Ephemer, or Ephemera depending on what wiki you're reading, the Silver Fox who's given the first rulebook by Ava. Next is Ephemer's closest friend, Skuld, who arrives second to the Keyblade Graveyard to meet the other new Union leaders. Soon after is Ventus. Yeah, a whole lot to unravel there. Seriously, Nomura just likes to throw a dart at plot contrivances before developing each new game. The fourth to join the party is Brain. Or Blaine? I'm pretty sure it's just Brain. Not much description is given of him, and he was never introduced before arriving to the Keyblade Graveyard. Finally, we have Lauriam, which fans may recognize to be the somebody of Marluxia, the scythe-wielding leader of Castle Oblivion from Chain of Memories. So one of these 5 is the traitor. However, to find out who, we need to look at the other person we see Ava give the rulebook to. Aside from Ephemer, the only other person we see given the book is Strelitzia. But if Stella, I know it's wrong, but it's easier and I suck enough at my own native language, let alone this Gregarian, Dutch, I don't even know what. But if Stella was given the rulebook to become a future Union leader, then why wasn't she present at the Keyblade Graveyard? And why are there still 5 people there? Well, as soon as we meet Stella, we see her unfortunate demise at the hands of a mysterious person. This person is cast entirely in shadow, so we never get to see who it is. Considering the shape of Stella's killer, we can sort of assume it's a male with short hair, but it is a lot to ask for this to be an accurate depiction of the villain. Instead, we can assume that the 5 remaining new Union leaders has her murderous replacement among them. Ephemer can easily be counted out as the killer because we see that he was already given a rulebook, and therefore, if he had stolen her book, then there would be someone missing, which means that whoever has Stella's book wasn't on the Master of Masters' original list. That still leaves 4 other possible members. One that I immediately thought would be a key contestant for villain material would be the already confirmed villain, Lauriam. But for anyone paying attention, they may have noticed that the fallen Strelitzia shares a name with Marluxia's favorite scythe. This is because the good guy Lauriam is Strelitzia's brother, and a separate quest takes him investigating his sister's disappearance. Unless he was simply keeping up appearances with her friend Elrena, or Larxene to the rest of us. Seriously, adding time travel meant that anything is possible now. We can assume that Lauriam isn't responsible for killing his own flesh and blood. Also, as far as keeping up appearances goes, he doesn't tell anyone what he's really doing. So it's not like his actions are going to throw off suspicion in the first place. So now we have 3 people who could fit the bill, and while one of them is the obvious choice, I'm hoping that it could be one of the other 2. Considering how little we know of Brain before his introduction at the end of the Keyblade War, his mysterious background makes him a very easy option. However, I would prefer if it was one of the other 2, because it would add a layer of complexity to the notoriously two-dimensional characters in the series. One great option would be Skuld. They've sort of given her a partial alibi already, but there is room for Lauriam to distrust her in future updates. Either way, while her alibi gives her a little leniency, she definitely has motive. Killing Stella and becoming a new Union leader would allow her to be close to Ephemer again. It would go really well with the themes of loneliness and abandonment leading people down the path of darkness that the games have been trying to build recently, especially with Kingdom Hearts 3. However, as nice of a story beat as that would be, again, she has an alibi because she was with the player character when Stella died. My top choice, though, would be Ventus. The reasoning for this would be that it would give an actual explanation for why he was even in the game to begin with. For a series that's been nitpicky enough to recently include a continuity for the death of Mickey's shirt, it's hard to believe that they just threw him in there for no reason. I mean, what other reason could they have for complicating him even more? However, if he were the traitor, it would explain something very interesting about his counterpart, Vanitas. How was this boy's darkness enough to create an entirely new person made of the stuff? The answer is that before Xehanort trained him and split the boy into 2 separate entities, Ventus was a being of unimaginable darkness, who set forth the events that would cause the Keyblade War in the first place. There is even a little evidence to support this scenario. Ven seems to know the least about his rulebook, implying that he hasn't had as much time with his as the others, although that can be explained away as Ven is, well, he dumb. Unfortunately, as awesome as these 2 options would be, it's Brain. It's super obviously Brain, and I guess I can deal with that. Either way, that's nowhere near as interesting as the whereabouts of everyone's favorite Union leader, Ava, which is in my next video and comes with massive Kingdom Hearts 3 spoilers. So be sure to look out for that. And don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see more of these videos. I've actually got something in the works for a Monster Hunter lore video, but not that Monster Hunter has all that much lore to begin with. But it's one of my favorite games I've been playing all year, so I'd like to at least include something about it on the channel. Either way, thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Goodbye, goodbye.